All right, joining with us in the event today, it's our great honor to welcome and introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce and invite Dr. Rukmawati Brotojoyo, Head of Office International Affairs, Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Yogyakarta, to say a few words to us.
Before that, we would also like to send warm morning greetings virtually to our distinguished speakers. From our first speakers, Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki, and our second speaker, Mr. Imade Andi Arsana, they will be sharing their expertise with us today.
Now, please welcome Dr. Rukmawati Brotojoyo, Head of International Affairs, Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Yogyakarta, to say a few words to us.
Distinguished speakers, Imade Andi Arsana PhD, Head of Subdirectorate International Cooperation Universitas Gadjah Mada. He also affiliated with Mini Academy Yogyakarta. And Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki, affiliated with Al-Bukhari International University, Malaysia. Esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome all of you and open the Global Scholarship Preparation Workshop this morning. Our workshop theme today is How to Win International Scholarship, which is organized by the Office of International Affairs, Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Yogyakarta. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that having international exposure would provide a great benefit in this global area. And one of ways to have international experience is by studying abroad. There are many scholarships available to support students to study overseas. However, the competition would be very tough. Therefore, the candidates should prepare their best to win the competition. And today's workshop aims to provide information and develop skills on how you could prepare yourself to apply for a scholarship to study abroad. And we are very fortunate to have excellent speakers to share their expertise with us. I would like to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Imade Andi Arsana PhD and Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki as our speakers. Imade Andi Arsana PhD have published several books, and one of them is Rahasia Beasiswa Australia. He will share with us on how we could prepare ourselves to face the interview. And Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki has become the speakers in several workshops related to scholarship preparation. And he will share with us on how we could prepare an impressive motivation letter. I hope that everyone will take this workshop seriously to develop their capabilities. And finally, I wish you enjoy this workshop and also have a good health and success in the near future. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Rukmo for the opening speech. I believe that everyone can wait for the next session that will be hosted by Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki with the topic of motivational letter. Before that, let us read the CV of our speaker.
All right now, Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Gafiki is a Bachelor of Elementary Education student in Al-Bukhari International University, Malaysia. He also active participating in many conferences and seminars related to scholarships preparations, such as being a speaker in national seminar called Sponsorship Hacks and How to Get a Scholarships in Malaysia. Besides that, he also actively joined organizations like now. He is a general chairman of KAMI Malaysia and the National Millennials Project ASEAN region. About his scholarships, currently he is an awardee of Al-Bukhari International University scholarships, also Basnas scholarships. Wow, such an incredible experiences, right? We are very honored right now to invite Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Goviki, and in just a few minutes, he is going to share with all of you his insights and expert knowledge about it. Okay, let me say hi to Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Gofiki. Hi.
Hi, how are you today? Can you
I'm
listen to my
good.
voice?
I'm good. Thank you.
Oh,
How
that's
about you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's power, I'm really excited to see you guys for today's international workshop.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right,
So, the floor is yours.
all right. Thank you so much. Right, you just introduced me just now. Um, I cannot describe what I am feeling right now, because the first one I'm really excited to see you because this is as the most challenging one for me to attend the workshop because usually I have to speak in Indonesian language. So that in this great opportunity, so I want to share with you and I will describe everything about my experiences, especially in the scholarship, yeah, related to motivation letter. So at the first time, I just want to say Your Excellency Ibu Narohmawati just now who delivered the speech, and unforgettable our beautiful MC for today, Miss Nadia Nura and Miss Nurul Nisa Darmawan, and of course unforgettable to all the committees right, who create this really incredible events and to all audiences in happiness. Before it, I open with salam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa syukurillah ala nikmatillah wa la hawla wa la quwata illa billahil aliyil azim. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. La nabiyya ba'da amma ba'du. Okay, guys. So, at the first time once I get an accept once I get an invitation to be a speaker for today event, I got this information from my little sister, Miss Aulia Regina. So I said to her, "You are you serious? I want to be speaker of at this event. What is that? This is an international event, so I have to speak in English. So I feel that you guys, your as audiences, maybe you now you have more experience than me. So for this workshop, I'm not a mentor, I'm not your teacher, but I just share my experiences with you how to create good motivation letter. So that without further ado, I would like to ask the operator to share the screen because I have a time within 1 hour to speak in front of you, guys. We will discuss everything about motivation letter. But don't worry, we have 2 days. At the first day, we will discuss about everything related to motivation letter. So at the second day, we will talk about motivation letter as well, but we will review the sample of motivation letter. Okay, without further ado, I just let the operator to share my screen. Okay, guys, before I proceed to this workshop, okay, this is the global scholarship preparation workshop, and for this time, I will talk about motivation letter. All right, and maybe I can introduce myself first for next slide. All right, before we proceed, what is motivation and anything, I will tell to you what are the table of contents or what are the discussion that we would like to share to you. At the table of contents here, at the first one about the introduction. Of course, I will tell more about me, where I am from, and then the general essay or motivation letter. In this section, you will gain information about Motlet or motivation letter, and why is it is the Motlet is so crucial or so important. And the third one, what are the goals of motivation letter? So this section or in this part will explain why you should write a motivation letter. The speaker will explain more details of the purpose of drafting motivation letter. 1 to 3, and the fourth one motivation letter structure in general. This part or this session will explain you, will elaborate to you and how to design a motivation letter, how to create the motivation letter, what should you type or what should you write to make your motive more organized. And then general tips for writing an effective motivation letter. In this segment or in this session, the speaker, which is me, will discuss how to write motivation letters effectively and accurately based on the previous person's expertise. And the last one, some useful tools to assist you in creating motivation letter. You should to motiv- you should to be notified that there are a variety of tools and software available to assist you in producing motivation letters. It will be presented one by one at this section. Guys, after you seen this the table of contents, how do you feel? It's really interesting or not? Okay, so don't worry, we will continue at the next day. So next slide. Okay, guys. Let me introduce myself just now. Beside the MC, already introduced me. I am Muhammad Abdurrahman Gofiki. I am bachelor candidate in Al Bukhara International University. Maybe in the future or in the next year, you can come to Malaysia to meet me here. you know I am just a bachelor student, so that please my apologies, I beg your pardon if there is some error or if there is some mistake in my spoken English. Okay, I'm so sorry. So beside of that, I asked the awardee Chindikia Business Scholarship. um Maybe I got 5 scholarship from what is that, from various institutions. So now I as the general chairman of Kami Malaysia. So I like organization. I love organization because once I join the organization, I can meet with incredible people. I can know a lot of people with the various, right? So maybe only that the introduction from me. And one thing that you have to know, I am from Serang, Banten. I am Sundanese, but today we were gonna discuss about motivation letter without see who I am. All right. And inshallah, for this year, to 2020, I will go to Turkey for international student exchange. All right, thank you so much. And I'm the one of the member of Felarino Festival Luar Negeri at in PPI Dunia. Okay, next slide. So I hope in this session, right, I want you to speak up. I just simply ask to you, in your opinion, right, what is a motivation letter? And why motivation letter is important. Okay, maybe one of you or two of you, three of you, you can speak up and explain to me what is motivation letter. Okay, speak up. Anyone's now here, just or the MC or maybe the another participants. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Yes. Okay. In your about motivation letter. So I will describe to you about what is motivation letter in the next slide. Maybe we can proceed to the next slide first. Okay. Motivation letter. How do you feel once you heard, when you listen the word motivation letter? Generally, the letter of motivation is written by the scholarship applicant to be sent to the admission or scholarship reviewer committee. A motivation letter is an aberration for motivation letter, right? Or motlet, I'm sorry here, which is also known as a statement of purpose or letter of intent. A motivation letter is required for university registration and scholarship program enrollment. A motivation letter as the name implies, is a document that conveys the applicant's motivation to enroll or to apply the program. In non-scientific words, right? A motivation letter demonstrates an applicant's strong desire to attend university or participate in scholarship program. Guys, I as the provider scholarship, I as the committee, if you want to apply to my institution, so how I can gain the information about you, how I can get in touch with you without I read your motivation letter, without I know what is your desire to study here. On the other hand, right? Um, a motivation letter is a piece of writing that is usually an essay, right? About maybe 15 words on or 1,000 words in length that contain information about you, who you were, what your life goals are, your educational history, what potential you have, and what you want to achieve if you continue your studies. As a motivation letter is essential, an essay that demonstrates that show how you are believe. Motivation letter are typically written to complete the requirements for applying for scholarship at domestic or international university. As me, as Al Bukhara International University students in Malaysia, they required me to create a motivation letter. Why? I will expand at the next slide, but do not proceed to the next slide first. Motivation letter, guys. Um, what is that? Its self-content can be much broader. It's just writing about personal motivation and goals. Through a motivation letter, one can express anything that is about you, about the applicant, which is considered important related to need scholarship or education. For example, a motivation letter can contain the purpose of person taking a scholarship program and certain study program. So in the motivation letter, they are the structure as well. They are the tips and trick how to create a motivation letter. There are many things that you have to know about motivation letter and why motivation letter is really crucial. It's really important, you know. Okay, because if I as the scholarship provider, I I repeat once more, impossible how I can know about you without I know without I read your motivation you that you want to study in my university. So next slide. Why? Okay, next slide. Okay. No, 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 no. All right, good. Why motivation letter is important? Or in other words, if I paraphrase, we use the synonym why motivation letter. Why letter of intent is crucial, is essential, is vital. Motlet or motivation letter is unquestionably a critical document to prepare if you intend to study abroad. When applying to institution or scholarship programs, one of the documents that is always on the list of requirements is motivation letter. Motlet or motivation letters allow to the selectors to get to know you much better. As what I have explained before, selectors or the committee or provide scholarship provider can use the motlet to learn about your personality, life goals, motivations, and future desires. As a result, you must prepare as fully as possible. Okay, the first one, you must be able to demonstrate that you are at the greatest and have high qualification in order to get approved. And the second one, you must be able to indicate, you must be able to show, or you must be able, you have to demonstrate your quality through motlet writing in addition to boosting the quality of your resume. Why motlet is so important? Okay, usually there are many requirements or there are many documents once you like to apply the scholarship. And the most essential things if you want to apply the scholarship is using motivation letter, right? Using motivation letter. So not only motivation letter, maybe there are recommendation letter, there are diploma, there are transcript, there are maybe electricity letter, there are achievement, there are maybe many things, okay? But in this case, in this session, we just simply discuss about motivation letter, not about CV. Oh yeah, there are many things. Sorry, I cannot mention. It is about maybe English proficiency certificate, which is maybe IELTS, TOEFL, and anything. But I'm in Malaysia. I am using IELTS, right? I am using our IELTS, and for you, the scholarship hunters in 2022. Don't worry, I will help you. Maybe I will give you a time for consultation with me how to apply scholarship in various country. Especially maybe I am as a mentor and consultant. I have experiences since 2019. I have been a mentor for Turkey Busları Scholarship. Maybe there are many of you here that you want to apply for Turkey Busları Scholarship, isn't it? Yes. In Turkey Busları Scholarship, you have to create a letter of intent. All right, I continue. Um, okay. Besides motivation letter, you can show, okay, you can demonstrate, right, what you can demonstrate from your curriculum, your resume, right? You can introduce yourself in your travel history maybe, and many other things. But don't worry, we will proceed to the next slide, which is more interesting. Okay, next slide. To the MC, please remind me if I have if the times is up. Okay, now what are the goals of motivation letter? Anyone now here? Oh yeah, I forgot. You not allowed to speak up, right? What are the goals of motivation letter, sir? Or Kak Vicky? Maybe usually people call me Kak Vicky or Mas Vicky, Bang Vicky, Kang Vicky. It's okay. Okay. Maybe guys, I allow you to to give comments, right? To give comments from the comments box here. Maybe if I ask you something, you can, yes, like Fitri Novianti, it's Oktami. Okay, good. You can give the comments to me from the chat box. Okay, so I can indicate that you are really listening to me. All right, what are the goals of motivation letter? Of course, once you create something, you have the goals, you have the purpose, isn't it? Once you create a letter or letter of statement, of course, you have a purpose. You want to send the letter to your lecturer or to your advisor, to your professor. Of course, you have. So, and motivation letter as well, it has goals or it has a purposes. So what are the goals of motivation letter? We proceed to the next slide. Yes, Fitrina Fen, you are correct, exactly correct. Okay, next, the purposes. Nice, we discussed about this one. Wait, I got error with my computer. All right, the purposes or the goals. Why I simply change from the goals to purposes, I just paraphrase it. So I will teach you, I will inform you how to paraphrase the word. Okay. Okay, good. Great one, Oktami. I like your answer. Right. There are six. I wrote there are six the purposes. Okay, the first one, academic transcript and CV are essential for distinguished candidate, isn't it? Of course, right? Um, from the CV, from the from the CV, sorry, from the CV, from the motlet motivation letter, it can differentiate about your motivation and about your achievement. You you no need to write your achievements or your experiences all in motivation letter. Okay, you can distinguish. Okay, you can distinguish between CV and motivation letter. Okay, so the number one here, motivation letter or essay can demonstrate how committed you are to your aims or to your goals. Okay, in the motivation letter, you are a scholarship applicant to in this year, so you're supposed to demonstrate, you have to show how you high desire, how your commitment to achieve or to get your aims. What is your aim? Of course, to be scholarship holder, isn't it? You are a scholarship hunter, especially the example, the you want to get the Australian award scholarship. So how can the committee know about your aim? Of course, through the motivation letter, right? You have to tell more about your commitment. That um, you will not disappointed. You will not disappointed to the scholarships providers, like that. So number three is I can indicate who you are and how you will become. Is I can indicate who you are. Okay, I give the example. Okay, for instance, like this. I don't know who are you. I don't know who Oktami. Okay, I don't know who Oktami, but I'm here as the scholarship provider. So, is it um I just simply give you a letter of acceptance, so you can simply just get a scholarship from me. No, of course, I will read your motivation letter. Who you are, where are you from, what is your the best motivation, and in the future, what you will be become, right? So one of the purposes of the motivation letter is it. So the number one here, it's a might show how you want to contribute to society. Motivation letter, right? In motivation letter, maybe made might demonstrate how you want to involve or how you want to give your the best contribution to your society, to your environment. For example, you are in campus, you are in the university. So, what is your contribution? What is your um, contribution for your university? Maybe you can create a project. Maybe you can join a competition in the social or in your environment. Maybe you can be a speaker. You can educate peoples. Okay, you can educate peoples, right? Maybe like that, about the healthy, about education, about economy and others. Okay, so number five, sorry my friend, sorry. Okay guys, it's my roommate, I'm so sorry. Okay, number five is they can indicate your ability to be organized, stay on goal and follow the direction through writing. Okay guys, in motivation letter, number five of the purposes, you can demonstrate your ability to be organized. Okay, your commitment on your goals. You just follow the structure. You just follow the structure of writing motivation letter. So in that case or this is, and I will explain to you maybe at the end of this slide. So the sixth one or the last one here, at the base an essay, a motivation letter can market or can promote yourself. The assessors can learn about you through the stories and experiences you provide in an essay. Kak Vicky, I don't want to show up. I don't want to show up myself. What should I do? That is the big questions. I have humble or in bahasa Arab or Indonesian language tawadu. Tawadu, you know tawadu, right? Okay. Kak Vicky, how can I promote myself through this motivation letter? So, how can the assessor, how can the committee will get in touch with you, will know about your stories, about your incredible experiences in your life, right? Yes, sure, Mr. Hasbi. That's exactly, yeah. You have to promote. This is not sombong. It is not arrogant, right? You, in the motivation letter, you have to tell everything about you. You have to demonstrate what is that? Anything which is relate to how you commitment to gain your what is that? To your goals, right? So in motivation letter, this is as the summary of the purposes. How can you promote? How can you write? Sometimes some students get confused how to promote yourself, how to promote their self, how to create interesting motivation letter, right? Like that. So at the what is that as the main of the purposes, once you have to market to promote yourself, maybe you can tell about your strength, okay, maybe you can tell about your the best experiences, maybe you can tell about your higher motivation, why you need this scholarship, why you are the best eligible candidate, like that. Okay, so the next slide, let me to drink first, yeah. Maybe I am really excited to see you. Next slide. Okay, guys, maybe you can write down my um you can write about my motivation letter about the material as well. Here's okay. Now we proceed to motivation letter structure in general. So this is the things. This is the main of discussion for motivation letter. What are the structure in general? Okay, anyone's now here before we proceed? Before I explain to you, maybe one of you can write down your comment below. Just write down or just draft your comment or your idea in the text in the chat box, please. Maybe introduction, body, conclusion, like that. Okay. All right. Maybe that's Fitri Novianti. Thanks. Okay, good one. All right, Fitri Novianti, as you said. Okay, no problem, students. Okay, next week, without further ado, let's we proceed to the next slide. This is interesting one. Next, it's so hot, in my room. Okay, sorry. The first one, what are the structure general? Guys, did you know I already created a books, maybe ebook, maybe you can get it from me. I will try to help you. I will try to assist you in how create motivation letter, how maybe about interview, but there's another speaker. But I have a book, I have ebook including motivation letter about interview session like that. So in creating motivation letter, it is difficult or not, sir? Maybe the answer can get back to you. Okay? So, at the first paragraph, at the first paragraph, what should you write here? Of course, the first one, introduction. So, what are the things that you have to write in introduction. What should you write at the first paragraphs here? Okay, maybe Aulia, maybe Aulia as the committee, as the one of the committee of this event. Last time you already consulted about how to create motivation letter, right? So I have experienced it in what is that? In creating letter of intent for Turkey Bus Lari. Why I said Turkey Bus Lari again and again, because since 2019, 2020, 2021, I as a mentor for Turkey Bus Lari scholarship for those of you who want to gain this scholarship. Okay, but I try to make it really general. So for introduction, the first one, highlight your profile. What, Mr. Vicky or Kak Vicky, what does it mean? What the meaning of highlight your profile? Yes. Okay, the first one. Okay, let me read the comment from Octami. I think motivated is yes, totally correct. Totally correct, Octami. Maybe Octami is one of the most active participants here. Yes, I know you. Okay, highlight your profile. Maybe you can tell about the short sentence. Okay, the sentence one, two, three sentences about you. Maybe you can tell about your dream. Your as the what is introduction. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. The first one, highlight your profile. So the next one, background, education, and your major. Background education. Maybe for SPM in Malaysia we call SPM, or in Indonesia sekolah menengah atas, right? Secondary school or senior high school. What is the letters of your senior high school? For example, as Islamic High School of Raudatul Ulum Anyar. It is my background, right? And the major. For so if you wanna apply for master degree, of course you will explain, or you will show, you will indicate your the latest education. For example, for instance, veteran Yogyakarta, right? Veteran University Yogyakarta. And what is your major? Major is what is your program? Okay, so it is in introduction. So the next one is about the latest GPA, okay, or the latest score in the last of semester of, or the best GPA in maybe in the middle of semester or anything, okay. But I suggest to you to give your to show up your GPA at the end of the semester, but it is not obligation, right? It is not mandatory, tidak wajib. Okay, you don't need whether you want to show, you want to tell about your GPA or not, because once once the assessor read your GPA, oh yeah, yeah, what is that? Miss Nadia, she got 4.0 GPA. I mean, so for example, Miss Nurul as well, she got 4.0 for GPA. At least cum laude 3.5. Okay, guys, don't see to your GPA, because you cannot predict. Even you get the best score in your university, I don't know, there is no what is that, there's no guarantee, that you can gain the scholarship or not. You just try, do your best, like that. Okay, I just simply pray for you at the end of the semester in the university you can get the best score, inshallah. So the next one, the best accomplishment, or in Indonesia pencapaian terbaik, yeah. Okay, okay, Mister. Maybe you can ask to me at the end of the session. Okay. So the best accomplishment. What are the best accomplishment here? Yeah, up to you. Maybe you are experienced in international competitions. Maybe you are as a delegate for international conference in another country. Maybe many things. And the social achievement, the best experience in your life. Maybe you were experienced in what is that? Become a what is that? Become a diplomat, become assistant professor, like that. This is only the example. Okay, guys, remember in introduction there is one paragraph or there is two paragraph, but I just simply say to you only one paragraph. Okay, one paragraph. So in introduction you can provide your highlight your profile, pick your education, your major, latest GPA, the best accomplishment, and the social achievement or the best experience in your life. So why this major? Why? Why for bachelor? Why for master? Why doctoral? Right? Okay, wait. It's too. Okay, okay. Okay. Wait me. I want to say to my friend uh, to decrease the volume. Wait, yeah, guys. Sorry, I'm sorry for inconvenience. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. There's an inconvenience. It's about my roommate. Okay, just skip it. Why this major? Okay, for this session, you can elaborate your reasons why you want to study at this major. Why not in another program? For the instance like this, you want to apply in mathematics science. You want to apply in geography, in chemistry, in sociology, in psychology, in what is that? Islamic studies and anything. Why this major? Why you want to study at this major in this program? Why not another program? Maybe you can give the reason. You can give the best reasons like that. Okay, you can do a research and you can relate it to your experience. Anything. Okay, what is the most reasonable explanation you want to pursue this major? Include data to back up your arguments. Okay, guys. Once you tell about the major, okay, about the major, maybe you can tell about your experience that you are experienced in assisting your professor, maybe in doing a research. Okay, maybe like that. So you can include the data is up to you, the information related to your statement. Okay, don't put the general statement here, don't put the general reasons here. You are supposed to give the specific answer to the specific reasons why you want to study at this program like that. Okay, so it will help you to improve your argument to your statement. Sorry, maybe this one is um it's not suitable word. Maybe this up your statement, right? Not argument because this is not debate. Okay, next. The first one, introduction. Why this major? Maybe you can put at the second paragraph. Next slide. Okay. Hey, but guys, so far my voice is clear, right? Clear, right? Clear. Jelas kan? Okay. Okay. Next. Yes, good. Thank you so much. All right. Stop. Stop. Just now. Just now. Introduction and why. Okay. So, the next one or the next paragraph. What kind of problems? What kind of obstacles? What kind of problems? Why I just synonym because there are a lot of vocabulary in English, right? Lot of vocabularies. So, what kind of problems or issues can you solve by taking this study? All right, is it reasonable or not? Is it what is logic or not? Yeah. By choosing this program, by selecting this program, any problems do you have, and then you can solve it after you studied at this program. Okay, guys. I give you the sample like this. Okay, one, why you want to study in economic. Okay, why you want to study about the law, maybe like that. So in your country, maybe in your country there is a very big, very a big problem. What is that? Maybe about the law, maybe about the economic. Okay, that is a problems. Of course, there is a problems and there is a solutions. So once you apply, once you want to study of in this major, so you can solve that problem after you studied at this program. Is it logic or not? Okay, so you have to provide, maybe you can write a sentence that's which is come up with the problems and the solution. Okay, guys, after after you what's it that after you mention about your reason why you want to study at this program. So the next one, why this university, why this scholarship, sir? What are you strongest a reason for studying at this university? Why this university? Yeah, why why this institution, right? Why this college, and why this scholarship, why this award? What are your strongest reason for studying this university? What is the most outstanding reason for studying at this university? Yeah, what is the best maybe what is the best statement? Okay, in order to support your statement, you could provide data research. Why I mentioned data and data again? Because I want you create a motivation letter. You provide data, no, make it specific, not general. For example, you want to study at the particular country. What are the reason? Because I want to get experience. Because I want to visit that country. No, it's totally wrong. They are specific reasons. Okay, you cannot do that. You cannot generalize your reason. So it's simply if you have to create a specific reason. Okay, indicate about your the best reasons why you deserve this scholarship. You can talk about your finance, your aspirations, and your effort to make this scholarship is the best choice for you. Understandable? Okay, I repeat it once more. In this in this case, in this session, okay, if in motivation letter about why this scholarship, you can tell about the strongest reason, the strongest statement why you need this scholarship, why you want to study at this university. Maybe you can do a research first or what. MC, please tell me how many minutes left. Okay, if there is no time, I will make it faster. I will make it quick. So after what kind of problems and why this university, why this scholarship? Maybe if you have a problem with your finance, with your economy in your family, you just simply out to write down your reason. Just to be honest, you need this scholarship because you have a problem with your financials. Maybe the scholarship, there are many things. Okay, guys, there is fully funded scholarship, there is partially scholarship, there is only university scholarship, and anything. There is one scholarship who give the scholarship to for those students who get a problem with financial. There's a scholarship just it's given to for those students who get many achievements, made a good score in the school and the university, who has done many contribution for the society and many things. Okay, like that. So the next slide. Okay. All right. Why this country? In this section, you must explain why you desire, why you want, okay, to study in this country. Okay, I choose a sample of Turkey again, or I just choose a sample of England, Holland, Australia, maybe Spain, Germany, or anything, many country, right? Not only Turkey or not only Malaysia. Okay, you must explain. Okay, well, you must explain. Maybe you can do a research again. Maybe you can include the data. Maybe based on the article, based on the website. That's blah blah blah. Turkey is blah 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 blah. Okay, but once you make a reason or once you elaborate the reasons, that's what you want to study in this country, it it have to come up with the data, okay, not general. It must be specific, which is has a correlation with the major that you want to study. For the example like this, um you want to study about the history. I know, as well as we know, that Turkey is the most historical country. They have Osmani history, right? So that you want to deeply study about the history. Of course, Turkey is the best country, is the correct country that you want to, if you want to study there. So it has a correlation between why this university and why this major and why this country. Okay, it must be synchron. It must be correlated. Okay. So and then why not in your own country? Why not in Indonesia? There are many universities. Maybe if in an interview, but interview is not my part. But I just tell you a little, okay, a short time. Why not in Indonesia? In Indonesia, there are many universities. Why you don't study in your domestic university? Why you want to study abroad? Like that. So you have to prepare the best statement. Okay. The next one. Why are you the most qualified candidate? Why you are as the most eligible scholarship hunter? Okay, why you are the most greatest or the most outstanding, what is that, the best applicant? Why? Okay, so what you have to write here, you must be able to demonstrate that you are deserving candidate for the scholarship, including logical explanation as well as positive feedback for the scholarship provider. Of course, every scholarship will get a feedback. For the example like this, scholarship, right? There is international scholarship, there's national scholarship, there's university scholarship, there is what is that? There is city scholarship, province scholarship, the state scholarship, and many things. So, what will you give? Okay, once you get the scholarship, after you graduate, after you get this scholarship, what is your feedback? What is the feedback for the scholarship provider? So you must give, or you must write your highest statement. Okay, you must what is that, you must highly commit with your aims. Okay, and it's logic, maybe like this. If you get this scholarship, maybe at the next year and in the future, you will change the world. Oh no, cannot you do that? Maybe you can get feedback. For example, like this. Okay, if I get scholarship from this university, I will be active in many organizations. Maybe I can be assistant of professor and many things. That is the feedback. Okay. All right. Next. Okay, this is the last one. What are your future plans? Why I wrote here what are, not what is, because there is, that is plural plans. If the things more than one, it is plural, right? It's plural. Oh, 20 minutes left, Nadia. All right, thank you so much. Okay, what are your future plans? The objective of this part is for you to set your plans for once you have been accepted for this scholarship. What are your goals after graduating from the selected university? Okay, guys. For instance, I give this example like this. Um, you wrote everything about introduction, about the reason why, and why. So at the end of the paragraphs, you are supposed to write about your future plans. Okay, your objective. After you graduate, maybe you can continue the master degree. Maybe you can continue for doctoral, right? Like that. That is the future plans. All right. What are the goals after you graduating? Maybe you want to marry, anything. Up to you. Okay, up to you. Maybe you can looking for a job. It is the reasons. Okay, it's the reason. But I advise to you, if you write decision about your future plan, you can maybe you can give the best reason, which is health, which is relate to your major. Okay, relate to your major. I think that's the best. So maybe that is for if you graduating. Okay, if once you graduate from your selected university, but if you accepted for this scholarship, okay, as I mentioned before, maybe um maybe you can to be active students in the university. Maybe you can follow the competition. Maybe you can follow the international conference so that you can be a delegate from university, or many things, right? Many things you can write everything, but it's not too much, just necessary. Necessity yang diperlukan. Okay? So, after what are your future plans here? So you simply write about your summary. Okay? The summary. In the final paragraphs, the summary here is the optional. You whether you can write it or not. Okay? You can write it or not. Okay? So, in the final paragraphs or at the end of the paragraph, you should give an evidence or a proof. Evidence, the synonym is proof, bukti, that you are right candidate to achieve this scholarship. At the end of the paragraphs, okay, maybe you can write something for the committee. You can what is that? You can evidence that you are really eligible, that you are the right person to get this scholarship, that you will not disappointed the committee once you achieve this scholarship, and many things. That is the reason. Okay, guys. So I can what is that? So I can summarize. I can sum up. The first one in structure. The first one is introduction. Okay, right. The next one, why this major? Okay, the next one, the third one is what kind of problems of issue can you solve by taking this study? So why this university or why this scholarship? Why this country? Why are you the most qualified candidate? What are your future plans? And the next or the last one is the summary. Okay, understandable, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, the next one. Now, general tips for writing effective motivation letter. Mr. Vicky, what are the tips and tricks how to write good motivation letter? Okay, guys, the first one, tell your story. Not you, but your. Sorry. There is an error. Tell your story. Discuss your personal background and why your experience have led you to apply for this award or for this scholarship. The key to success is individuality. Personalize it by looking deep into your interest. Guys, what is your interest? What is your skill? Okay, what is your achievement? All right, you have to tell about your story. The story here is not about your family. Okay, Kak Vicky, maybe story, yeah, story. Maybe I can give the story about my village. Is it correct? Correct. No, not that. Can I write about the story of my family? About maybe about your country? No. But this is your personal story. Okay, what how can you make the committee interest to your story? Okay, so the tips here, you're supposed to tell about your what is that, um about your story, like that. Okay, so what's here, the next one, prioritize. Prioritize Discuss you most relevant and impactful experiences. Don't describe everything you have done. Give specific example. Guys, I know you are is the most active student in the university. But you cannot tell everything. Maybe like in my CV just now. No, cannot, because there is the maximum length, there is the maximum words of the letter of intent of or the motivation letter. You cannot describe everything you have done, what you have done in your life. Maybe you get 100 achievements, maybe you have many experiences, but you can prioritize, you can choose the best experience which is related to your major. Okay, to your major. If you want to study about social science, about the social, okay, so maybe you can describe about your involving in the society. Okay, is this logic or not? Because it has correlation between what is that? It has correlation about what you have done in your environment or in your university, okay, in your family, with the major that you want to select or that you want to choose. Okay, you have to prioritize. Okay, you cannot mention everything. You get what is that? You get many experiences, accomplishment, and this in place A, in place B. No, you cannot describe everything. Just give the specific example. Maybe you can take two, you can take one, can you take three? Okay, three is the maximum one, or four, which is related to your motivation letter. But make it interesting. You not just simply list down. This is not CV, guys. Or this is not question and answer box. No. The motivation letter, you have to create it. What is that? You have to describe. Okay? But make it specific, right? Make it specific, not make it general, or not tell everything. So the next one, avoid general statement. Well, this is a normal, maybe there are many applicants to generals all the things. Okay, general all the things. For example, like this: I am a hard worker. I am hard worker. Saya seorang pekerja keras. Okay, it is insufficient, right? Every candidate is hard worker, isn't it? All scholarship hunters, they are hard worker. You can think how the scholarship hunters what is that? How the scholarship hunters prefer for the documents, how they are what is that? How they are what is that, looking for to complete the requirements like passport. You have to come to the immigration, right? So you have to translate your diploma transcript. You have to test IELTS or TOEFL, anything. It is work, right? So everyone, maybe it is hard worker. So you cannot just simply write the general statements like this. What make you different, unique, and unforgettable? Give specific example. Okay, guys. In this statement, what make the committee cannot forget to you, or you unforgettable? Maybe you have uniques. Maybe you are a talented person. You just simply write about the best specific, about the uniques, like that. Okay, don't generalize it. Okay, I repeat once more: avoid general statements. Avoid general statements. Okay, next slide. All right. Okay. Be introspective. Expand the motivation, the why that motivate you to do what you do. Okay, introspective, guys. Why I have to do this? Why I have to write this motivation? And how can you do that? Okay? Be introspective. So the next one, concentrate on your strength. concentrate, focus on your strength. Okay, and discuss how you solve obstacle in your life. Indicate your ability to solve a problem. Okay, guys. Maybe you can tell about the strengths. Okay, everyone must have a problem. Of course, it must. There is problems in what is that? In environment, in school, in university, with you as well. You have a problem, of course. But how is or what is the problem solving? How can you solve this problem? You have ability or not to solve this problem? You just indicate. Okay, there are many obstacles. Maybe it can support. It can support to your motivation letter. What are the obstacles do you have right now? So anything or any suggestion, solutions, how you solve this problem? Okay. So the next was is impact. Explain how the scholarship will help you overcome your long-term goals. Impact or explain. You have to describe the scholarship will help you overcome your long-term goal. It is not only short but long. But long. Yeah. What in the future? Okay? The long terms, not in this time, but in the future as well. What are the impact? Okay, guys, what are the impact from this scholarship? If once you get this scholarship, what is the impact for you? Okay, what is the impact for you? Maybe once you get the scholarship, in the future you can to be a businessman, you can to be a lawyer and everything like that. That's the impact. Okay, so the last one, make yourself known, promote yourself. This is the best things, right? This is the best thing in creating or in writing an effective motivation letter. Make yourself known, make yourself famous. Displaying your the best achievement will create confidence in the future success. Okay, so once you promote yourself, maybe you can follow the structure. You can follow the structure what I already told to you. Okay, what I already told to you just now about the general structure, how to create motivation letter. Okay, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Don't do not be afraid for to the peoples, to committee that you are in origin, not. Okay, because in this case, you are supposed. Okay, you are supposed to demonstrate about everything that you have done, okay, what you have gained. Okay, because besides motivation letter, however, CV or resume can support your application form. Okay, don't worry. So to sum up, there are 7 general tips for this writing. The first one, tell your story, and the second one, prioritize, avoid general statements, be introspective, concentrate on your strength, impact, and make yourself known. Okay, so that are the general tips to how to write effective motivation letter. Next. Okay, this is as the objective from the guidance what I have got from the committee. Mr. Vicky, is there any tools? Is there any useful tool to assist the student in creating motivation letter? Of course, there is. There are many things. Hey guys, once I what is that? Once I check the motivation letters from the students or from the applicants, I use tool. So what are the usable tools? Is it how I can help you, how I can assist you to create motivation letter? But in this case, who will write the motivation letter is not me, but you, because you are an applicant. Okay, you know about yourself. Of course, you cannot ask for other people to tell more about you. Okay, because you're an applicant, so that you have to explain more about you. Okay, so what are the some usable tools to assist you in creating motivation letter? Next slide. Okay, guys, maybe you know about Grammarly. Is it famous, right? You maybe know about Grammarly. Maybe you know about paraphrasing tools. Maybe you know about Google Doc and Google Translate. Okay, so what I'm using in checking motivation letters of the applicants. The the first one, okay, I check in Grammarly first. Okay, maybe you can do this. You can use Grammarly. If you don't have Grammarly, yeah, if you don't have Grammarly, you can buy from Shopee, maybe, okay, or Lazada or anything, okay, many platform. Okay, what are the function of Grammarly? Here's Grammarly's algorithm flag potential issued in the text of make context specific suggestion to help with grammar, spelling, and usage, wordiness, style, punctuation, tone, and even plagiarism. So, in Grammarly, okay, guys, in Grammarly, you can use Grammarly to check your grammatical. Okay, you can check your spelling. Sometimes some student they have a problem with the what with the spelling. Okay, with punctuation and anything. Okay, maybe you are really familiar with Grammarly. Okay, so I tell you, Grammarly can help you to write your motivation letter. Okay, the next one. Oh yes, Octamia, you're a great person. Paraphrasing tools. Okay, guys, I have a story here. How I can now about Quillbot. I know Quillbot since 2020, if not mistaken. Yeah, 2020 or 2021. Yeah, what are the function and what is the Quillbot here? Quillbot is paraphrasing and summarizing tool that help millions of the student and professionals cut their writing time by more than half using state of the art AA to rewrite any sentences, paragraph, or article. Okay, guys, why just now what is that? I make a synonym like show, demonstrate, indicate. Okay, you have to paraphrase to avoid plagiarism. If you do, what is that? If you do maybe final report, a report, okay, in Indonesia, maybe in makalah, in creating makalah, right? So maybe you can use this one, the paraphrasing tool. You can paraphrase, so it can help you to avoid with that, to avoid plagiarism. So Quillbot will give you will correct your sentence. Okay. So the last one, you can use Google Doc and Google Translate. Overall, Google Doc is the same as Microsoft Word. However, you can see the correct mistake in your sentences. The system will automatically provide suggestion to you. So in addition, you can use Google Translate as well to translate as many languages as you wish. So at the conclusion, okay, guys, I am not perfect in English. I am not expert in English as well. So you can use Google Translate first. Okay, you can use Google Translate first, and then you can using paraphrasing tools and Grammarly to write your motivation letter. So the last one, the next slide. Okay, this is the sessions for me. Time's up. All right, good. Okay, guys. My apologize. I'm so sorry for my bad English. Maybe I'm so sorry because I'm student. I'm not master degree or doctoral student. Maybe there are many mistakes in my grammatical and my English language. I'm so sorry, right? Okay. By the way, if you have any inquiries, just let me know. Okay, guys. This is my WhatsApp number. You can save my number, and then you can send the you can send your inquiries through my WhatsApp, or you can just email me in abdurrahman982@gmail.com, and you can DM and follow my Instagram at abdurrahman_gafiki. Thank you so much.
All right, such an amazing and complete presentation, right? Okay, the next agenda, we will hold a question and answer session. For every one of you who would like to ask anything to our speaker, please write your question on the Q&A feature or raise your hand and we will recognize you to open your camera and microphone.
Maybe there is a question here, right? There's two questions actually. Oh, okay, good.
Yes, there's a questions and I will told to you is Mr. Vicky. I wonder about something. Is there any difference between cover letter and motlet? Thank you.
What is that? Okay, maybe I can write down first the questions so that if you have any question, another question, I can simply answer to you. Maybe you can write down the question through the box. Can I answer now? Maybe the answer is simple actually. Hello, can you listen to me? Okay. We'll take be okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good one. I wonder about something. Is there any difference between cover letter and motivation letter? That is great question. Okay, so I give you the answer. Okay, what you need. Okay, maybe motivation letter and cover letter it's like same, but the purpose is different. Okay, motivation letter it can be used once you want to apply for something. It is motivation letter. Okay, maybe you want to study abroad. Okay, on the other hand, okay, there is another language or another vocabulary between not only motivation letter, there is letter of intent. So there is essay, there is statement of purposes and others. Okay, that if you want to apply for something for scholarship or anything, okay, for a program, or you want to apply to international student exchange organization voluntary and anything, you can use motivation letter. Okay, you can use motivation letter. It is motivation letter. Okay, I repeat once more. Once you want to apply anything, you want to apply something related to the academic, maybe scholarship, maybe voluntary, maybe student exchange and anything, it is motivation letter. Write down, it is motivation letter. So what is cover letter? Cover letter maybe it is same with but it's different sound. Cover motivation of course different, but the purposes, if you use cover letter, it is only for seeking a job. It is only for job. Okay, cover letter is for job and motivation letter is applying something. That's the answer. Okay, good.
Okay, maybe to the next question from Hasbi from Indonesia. Will that be okay if I put a team achievement on my essay or motlet? Or should I only write my own personal achievements?
Oh well, this is general questions. I got this question maybe last year, if not mistaken. Kak Vicky, Hey, sorry, I cannot speak Indonesian. Sorry, sorry. Hey, Mr. Vicky, can I put the team achievement here? You can. Okay, you can. But if you you have to notice, if you don't have any personal achievement, sorry, if you don't have any personal achievement, you can just simply put it a team achievement. Maybe you are as a good football player here, so this is a good achievement, right? If you want to study in the sport major, all right, so you can, okay, you can. But in order, if you don't have any personal achievement, you can just simply put your team achievement in your motet like that. It doesn't matter, because if you provide about the team achievement, it's mean that you have what is that? You have skill in what? In group, in leadership, isn't it? So it is up to you, but there is no wrong. There is no wrong whether you want to put your team achievement or not. You just simply put your personal. It's okay. But I suggest to you, if you have many personal achievements, you can just simply put in your motivation letter. Maybe if you cannot put every if you cannot put your achievement in your motivation letter, you just simply write, or you just simply draft on your resume, in your CV like that. Okay. Because you cannot tell everything in motivation letter. You can tell in CV like that.
All right, thank you for the answer. And the next questions, it should be, I have participated in the International Conference Model United Nations. Maybe I can attach the experience, right?
Oh yes, of course. Model Indonesian is the most famous one event. Right, I know about Baimun. I'm Aimun delegate as well. Aimun, Baimun. Maybe Yogyakarta Moon, maybe later on. Yeah, I'm really support your university, guys. It's really great. Veteran university. It's great, I have participated in international conference. Not only moon in everything, maybe international student exchange. Maybe what is that? You can read my CV, right? You can read my CV about my achievement. You can include all. Ya, Aimun or Baimun, like that lah. In Indonesia lah, like that lah gitu. In Malaysia, ah, yes lah, betul lah macam tu. In Malaysia like that. Boleh je. So, if you have participated in international conference, it will support. The committee will, what is that? The committee will notify you as unique applicant. Maybe like that. If I provide a scholarship, okay, maybe Miss Nurul and Miss Nadia want to apply for this scholarship, so you have an experience to be diplomat in Australia, maybe. Okay, you have participated in Model United Nations, but okay, but if you are as the speaker in this conference, it will be better. But it will be better if you as attendees, if you are just a participant, it's okay, you can include it. But if there is another thing which is more what is that, more better than this one, you just simply out to put the speaker. Okay, I have experienced to be a speaker in Model United Nations. Well, it is great, it's a good experience. Okay, you can put it, you can attach your experience, right? But if you want to tell about Model United Nations, it has correlation with your major. If it's not, if it's not correlate with your major, example like this, you want to study about international relation or hubungan international, of course this has correlation. If you participate in international conference like that, you will be diplomatic. You want to speak up any problems about your country, many things like that. And it is really best. I think it will be greatest statement, or it will be greatest score for you in order creating a motivation letter. So to sum up, you can attach this one, model United Nation in experience like that. Okay, but I just ask to you, in this case you are as a participant or the committee or the attendance, only that. Okay. Because a participant, maybe there are many people more than attends 100 conference or anything. Because guys, because as the pandemic, there are many webinars, there are many international exchange, there are many international workshop which is held by online. Okay. Okay, maybe I can give you suggestions in Google. Yeah, in Google you can search, you can do research about international workshop or international competition, voluntary and everything which is related to you. You can try to apply, you can get international scholarship, so that you can get this experience which is can make you unique. You can make you it can make you maybe unique, and you are distinguished different with others like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vicky. And the next question from Hertanti Kusumawardani from Indonesia. I wonder what is the basic thing that we have prepared before we apply to the scholarship beside Motlet? Do all universities have to attach Motlet?
Well, okay. I told to you just now. All right, this is a good question. I always appreciate all question. Yeah, there are no bad question. All good questions. Okay. Besides motivation letter, is there any university or particular scholarship that can they didn't ask about motivation letter? I don't know. So far, no. Everything needs motivation letter. Okay, every university needs motivation letter. Maybe if you have rich family and you have own university, you want to apply to this university, maybe you are rich, your father is a rich man, crazy rich, you can you just attach your diploma and your transcript. It doesn't matter, because the purpose of the motivation letter is to know how the provider of the scholarship can get in touch with you. This provider of scholarship or the assessor, the committee wants to know what is your motivation, how you gain this scholarship, what are the efforts like that. Maybe, and the answer that I briefly say, there is no institution or there is no scholarship they didn't ask about motivation letter. I think every scholarship they ask about motivation letter. At least there is question. What is your goals? And maybe what is your reason? What are your reasons? Not motivation letter. You can write in PDF, or you can just answer in maybe in Google Form or in the website. Okay, that is motivation letter. So, as far as I know, there is no university which is they didn't ask about motivation letter. Everything need motivation letter. Okay, but if you find the university which is they didn't ask to you about motivation letter, I can apply. Okay, maybe motivation letter is the most essential things for this to apply scholarship. But if language proficiency many, okay, if you want to apply in Turkey, YTB scholarship, okay, you no need to provide English proficiency or what is that, language proficiency, but motivation letter is mandatory. You know the meaning of mandatory? Wajib. Okay. All right. That is the answer.
All right, thank you for the answer. And proceed to the next question. It's from Zaki from Open FUI Indonesia. Mr. Vicky, does the student must be connected to the major that they want to attend?
Belum ngomong. Okay, of course, of course. Okay, who asked this now? Mr. Zaki, Mr. Zaki,
Zaki.
Mr. Zaki. I optimize. Inshallah, you will be scholarship holder. Inshallah. Okay. Mr. Vicky or Kak Vicky, I am the youngest man. Mr. Vicky, can I attach, what is that? Can I attach, sorry. Okay. Can I attach, okay, your achievement, okay, guys, maybe you have many achievements here. You have achievements in society, in conference, in competition, and others. But my suggestion here, once you write in your motivation letter, maybe you can write down your achievement which is has a correlation with your major that you want to apply. For example, just now I told to you, if you want to study in international relations, or if you want to apply for history, Islamic history, and anything, you can just write the achievement which is correlated or which is related to your major. Okay, but if you don't have, it's okay, no problem. Maybe you can write about another achievements. Okay, don't worry, you can write everything in CV. You can write everything in the CV. You cannot tell everything in what, in motivation letter. But I advise to you, if this achievement it has correlation with your major, it will be better. Okay, from the first paragraph to the end of the paragraph, it must be correlate. It must be correlate, flow. Okay, flow, mengalir. Okay, it must be correlate from the one to two paragraph, and the end of paragraph. Okay, it must be correlated like that. Okay, so I suggest to you, if you have specific achievements in particular major, in particular, yeah, maybe anything lah, you can just simply attach that, or you can write down this achievement. Okay, but do not describe everything. All right, because about the achievement, I will tell everything and day two, because I cannot tell everything in day one. If I tell everything about motivation letter in day one, what I have to say in day two? Huh? So I just story about me. No. Okay, like that. Okay, so you get the answer, right? Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
maybe
maybe
the
the
last
last
question
question
from
from
Alif
Alif
Mahendra,
Mahendra,
similar
similar
to
to
Audrey
Audrey
Pramudita's
Pramudita's
question.
question.
What
What
if
if
we
we
don't
don't
have
have
bunch
bunch
of
of
achievement,
achievement,
or
or
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
achievement
achievement
related to
related to
my
my
subject or
subject or
major that I
major that I
wanted?
wanted?
Um,
Um,
is it
is it
still be
still be
written
written
in
in
the
the
mod
mod
lab?
lab?
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kak
Kak
Vicky.
Vicky.
Okay, I try to understand first because I don't want to give wrong answer. Okay, just give me a time. I read once more. I have. Well, it's so difficult to answer, because you don't have. Oh, okay. No worries. I have solution for you. I have solution for, no worries. Audrey, how I can call you Audrey, or what? Od. Okay, if you have no specific achievement of bonds achievement here, you don't have any achievement related to your major that you want. No worries. No worries. I just give you an option. You no need to tell about your achievement. You can tell about your experience. Okay? Because achievement and experience is option. Okay. In introduction or in your motivation letter, you don't have any achievement which is related to your goals, to your subject. Okay, to your selected subject, maybe to your selected major, right, program. You just simply write about your experience, maybe. All right, like this. I give you an example, because if I just say about the theory without this example, it's difficult to understand, right? Isn't it? Okay. Maybe you want to study about maybe you want to study about the psychology. You want to study about education. Sir, but I don't have any achievement, any accomplishment, okay, and I don't have any certificate. How I can promote myself? Don't worry, my dear, don't worry. You can write about your experience here. Maybe you are involved in voluntary activity. You are involved in voluntary activity. You, what is that, you have experience to be psychomotor for your friends. That's the simple one. If you want to study in psychology, right, in psychology, but you don't have psychology, maybe what is that, a certificate or competition, or you get a test about the psychology, okay, maybe the simple one, you I have experience in helping in assist your friend to solve a problem. That is the simple one. Okay? That is the simple one. If there is problem, of course there are solutions. There is one problem, there are 1000 solutions. Okay? So, if you still don't understand how to create a motivation letter because you don't have any data, you cannot promote yourself, which is can make you unique to the provided scholarship, you can contact me and I give you time to consultation, for consultation. Okay, whoever you are who attend this meeting, who attend this workshop, I am really welcome to. If you want to ask a specific question, you can DM me or you can email me, you can text me on WhatsApp, whatever. Okay, so am I answer your question, sir? Miss, sorry. Okay, to sum up, okay, to sum up, if you don't have a bounds of achievement, okay, if you don't have achievement which is related to your major, you just simply write your experience, social experience, many things, not only related to achievement. Okay, don't worry, because the scholarship provider not only see to your, what is that, to your to your, yeah, to your what is that, to your achievement. Okay, the scholarship provider can judge you, can see you from your statement, maybe your reason why you want to study at this university, and what are your feedback that you want to give to the scholarship provider, like that. Maybe this is like podcast, because I'm using microphone. Okay, guys. So, any questions? Mm. All right. I'm really happy. I'm really happy to answer your question. Okay, nothing.
Okay, maybe if you have other question, you can give a question tomorrow for the next session. Sir, what's next agenda, Nora?
All right, the next agenda. Before that, a very big thank you to our invited speakers who have spoken with us in these sessions. Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Gofiki, insightful topic and discussion. The things that we should be highlighted are the best motivation letter is produced by best to know yourself. You have to know yourself better so you can produce a best motivational letter, right, Mr.?
Totally right.
Okay, guys, before we move to the next sessions, we will hold a photo sessions, and to Mr. Muhammad Abdurrahman Gofiki as well as the participants are welcome to take a positions.
Okay, I take my position here.
Jadi kan
Operator, are you ready? Okay, wait for a minute.
We are ready. Okay, for the first photo, 3, 2, 1, cheese. And the second photo, 3, 2, 1, and cheese. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for Mr. Abdurrahman Goviki for the first session of motivation letter. And then we will move to the second speaker.
And we will see you tomorrow, Mr. Muhammad Abdul Rafiq.
Yes,
Thank you
I'm
so
really
much.
excited to see you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll review motivation letter. So I have many things that I want to say to you about motivation letter. So now you have a session with the greatest, maybe motivator and greatest speaker, Mr. Imade and the Arsada.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. What about you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Great
Yes, you're
speech.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And the second one, we will have a sessions with the topic of interview. Like we already know, the interview session is most the tricky sessions for the whole process of preparation scholarships. And today this session will be hosted by Mr. Imade Andi Arsana. And let us read the CV of our moderator or of our speakers. Right.
Okay. Mr. Imade Andi Arsana is right now a lecturer and also a researcher at the Department of Geodetic and Geomatic Engineering, Gadjah Mada University, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Other than that, he was the head of Office of International Affairs, Gadjah Mada University, Yogyakarta, and he held a degree in surveying engineering from Gadjah Mada University, a Master of Engineering, Surveying, and Spatial Information Systems from the University of New South Wales, and Doctor in Philosophy Law distinction from the University of Wollongong. He also loved to write and make a blog that contents that he made basically talk about daily life, college life, scholarship, public speaking, and many more. He also have work experiences such as a co-founder United Kingdom Indonesia Consortium on Interdisciplinary Sciences, and he also got a scholarship from Alison Sudrajat Awards for research in University of Wollongong, Australian Leadership Awards from doctoral degree in University of Wollongong, and so on. So without any further ado, we would like to invite Mr. Imade Adi Arsan. Pardon me. We would like to invite Mr. Imade Andi Arsana to sharing his expertise and knowledge. So for Mr. Andi, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Nurul, and also Nadia for such a warm welcome. I really enjoyed the talk by Vicky just now. I also learned quite a lot from him. I hope you did too learn from Vicky. It's a really, really good talk. Allow me now to start by asking you some question. I would like you to tell me which country you are going to go. So I have here a link. If you can see that link in the chat box, you guys just click that link and write the name of the country that you want. Okay, very simple. Click the link, write down the name of the country that you want to go to. Okay, I'll give you, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Please, thank you very much. Okay, while you're doing that, I'll try to check whether, okay, a number of answers came already. So please click that and then just write the name, whatever country that you want to answer. All right, now I'll show you the answer that you give us. I hope everybody can see this already. Okay, 6 participants already on, now 8 more. UK is there, Japan, Netherlands is there, South Korea. Okay, I think for those who are going to South Korea are probably K-popers, or at least you love Korean drama. Singapore is there, Japan, Indonesia, good, Russia, Australia is there. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So I think from this answer, we figured it out already that a number of countries are here. So basically, there are a lot of options coming out from you. Not only in one continent, not only in Europe, but spread Asia, Australia. Oh, America is here too, so which is good. So thank you once again very much. So let us just pray and support whoever wants to go to anywhere. We really hope that not in the very far future you'll be there to the country that you dream about. Okay, let me now close this one. Thank you very much once again for the participation. Allow me now to start my content regarding the interview. Okay, I really hope that you can start to. Right, I need to double check because I don't want to show you a wrong file. All right. Can you start to see my slide already? Nurul or Nadia, can you? Yes or no? Not yet. Can anybody answer me? No, not really.
Yeah, not yet, but wait for a minute. We are
Okay.
working for it.
No. I mean because I want to share it. Just want to
Alright.
confirm.
It's
Is
already.
it good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Scholarship interview. My tagline over here is presenting your greatness in a humble way. So this is actually quite a unique combination. You have to show off your greatness, but you have to deliver in such a way that you're being humble. Okay, it's combining two opposite things, but it is possible to do that. Now, allow me to start by showing you a video. It is a 1-minute video starting from now. Good morning, Anna, right?
Yes, sir. I am Anna Sentosa.
Thank you for coming, Anna.
Thank you for having me, sir.
In your application, you selected Thailand as country destination. Is that right?
That's right, sir.
Most of your friends choose countries in Europe and North America. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. I know. Some others want to go to Japan and Australia.
And no one would like to go to ASEAN except you. Tell me about that.
Thailand is geographically similar to Indonesia. I'm studying agriculture where natural factor is important. It is better for me to study agriculture in a country with similar natural situation. Europe is certainly good in methodology, but my concern is about the difference in climate, soil condition, and other environmental factors.
Interesting, but don't you think that you should, in fact, learn something new so you can enrich practice in Indonesia?
That is another way to see it, sir. I agree. But in this case, my focus is to learn something that is directly applicable to Indonesia. Thailand is a more suitable choice.
But Thailand is not as advanced as the Netherlands, for example.
You are right, sir, but no one would deny how Thailand has been progressing in its agriculture in such a short period of time. I also want to learn this aspect, which is relevant to Indonesia.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Anna.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you for the opportunity.
So if you see this example, this is actually me interviewing an NI. It's an artificial intelligence. She's not real. This is actually created by artificial intelligence. What I did is actually to give only text to her, and then she would talk like whatever I want her to talk. So if you see this interview, you might be able to understand that in fact, this lady never agrees me 100%, right? Never agrees with me 100%. So she always has different opinion actually. But if you see it, the way she delivered or the way she projected her disagreement is really nice. So even though she doesn't agree to me, she would start by saying, "That's a good point, sir." Or even sometimes she wants to say something else. She started with, "I agree with you, sir," or "is a good way to see the problem, sir." So basically the tone and the statement at the beginning is always positive. Okay, so if you want to talk to people, it is very good for you, it's very nice for you to start by a positive statement. It is not like "I don't agree" or "not like that." Okay, not like that. So basically you can always project your positivity, even though you don't really agree with somebody. That is basically the main principle that I would like to share with you when it comes to interview. Good morning. Now, if you remember correctly, you have attended a lot of seminars and webinars, right? Is there any seminar talking about, or the topic of which is 2 + 2 = what? Of course not. I bet that you haven't really attended any seminar or any webinar with this kind of topic. Do you know why? Because the answer for this is certain. 2 + 2 is always 4, right? It's certain. That's why we don't have to have any seminar to talk about this, because it's certain. And now the question is, why do you have a lot of seminars about tips and tricks to get scholarship? Why? The answer is because it is not certain. Because the uncertainty for the answer is really, really big. That's why we have a lot of seminars. So it means that if you come here now and hoping with a 100% certainty, you come to the wrong event. So you cannot come here to this kind of event expecting that you will get 100% certainty, because this is the nature that interview has never been certain. Okay, so keep it in mind. Next is, there is no magic in interview. So there is no like one single key, one single answer to any issue or any question. You don't come here to expect that kind of thing. Okay, so you don't expect me to be able to tell you this is the best answer or this is the perfect answer. If you use this answer, you will win the scholarship. There's nothing like that, because there's no magic. So what I suggest you to do is, you have to learn always, from time to time. But the good news is, from me, I have actually examples of 50 questions and answers for scholarship interviews. Okay, I have 50 examples of questions and answer for scholarship interviews. So this will belong to you. So I'll give it to the committee members, the organizer, and I will give the PDF file, and you can have that. Just ask the organizer later on. Okay, that's the good news. So even though there is no certainty in that, but at least I have an example for you. The first tips from me is, if you want to, if you are invited for interview, you have to reread your application form. Whatever you fill in the application form, let's say it might be 2 months, it might be last year. If you are invited for the interview, read it again. So make sure that you understand fully, like 100%, what you have written on your form. Okay, don't forget, read that again, and you have to understand. Why do I need to tell you this? Because sometimes when you fill the form, you might be assisted by someone else, right? You might be assisted by your lecturers, you might be assisted by your friends, and there is a possibility for you to have a less understanding on particular point. So you don't want to show that while during the interview. So it means that that's why you need to learn again what you have written in the interview. So you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to make a discrepancy or differences between what you are going to say during the interview and what you have written on your form. So read it again. Okay, that's first. Second, gather information. So if you would like to do an interview, you just have to gather information. First, general issues. Okay, general issues mean issues outside of your field of studies. What are the general issues now faced by Indonesia and faced by the country that you want to go to? Second, government systems. Even though if you are an engineer like me, for example, and you don't want to pay attention much on the governmental system, but at least if you want to go to a country, you need to understand that. So it is a good idea for you to have a basic understanding about what is the governmental system in the country that you want to go to. Third is uniqueness of the country. You just have to understand this. So pay attention, read a lot, listen to news and so on and so forth, so you understand the uniqueness of the country. The fourth is what is the innovation coming out from the country and the history of the country. You just have to understand, even though I know that you are not an expert in history, I'm not an expert in history either, but at least there's a point, there's a few information that we understand about that particular country regarding the history. The next point is what is the relationship between that particular country and Indonesia. So this will make you appear or perform better if you understand the uniqueness of the relationship between that particular country and Indonesia. And the last but not least, you can have your own personal impression about that particular country. So that means you really do your own homework, you really take your time to do your own research, okay? Gather information. Next is you have to make contact. Okay, make contact means you have to contact someone in that particular country that might be able to help you in understanding the country better, in preparing yourself for the interview. Now, my statement here in terms of contact, in relation to contact, is if you cannot find even one single contact from that country, you have an issue. Meaning that in this information era, you must be able to secure at least one contact from that particular country that you can communicate with. For example, the Perhimpunan Pelajar Indonesia or Kedutaan Besar Republik Indonesia in that particular country, or embassy, our embassy in that particular country, or Indonesian community in that country, for example. If you don't know those three things, it's easy, Google them, okay? So it means that in one day, you must be able to secure a contact that you can be in touch with. If not, and then you have a serious issue, you have a problem with the way you communicate with people, right? Next is you have to understand interview is not an interrogation. Interview is a confirmation. So if you are invited for interview, it means you are qualified already. So based on the criteria, based on the administrative requirements, you are qualified already. That's why you are invited for interview. So it means that you are there because you are qualified. Now, what you need to do is just to confirm that you are really qualified. So it is not an interrogation. It is not like a police interrogating someone who is in the wrong position. Not like that. It is like a very good conversation between you and the interviewer. And they are smart, they are wise, and they're knowledgeable people. So it is very nice, right, to talk about what you know with someone who is wise, knowledgeable, and smart. So bear it in mind and put that in your mindset that this is not an interrogation, this is a confirmation. Next, you have to understand well your own study plan. Okay, this requires a bit of planning. So that's why if you want to go somewhere to study, you just have to have a plan. For example, what you are going to take over there. If you understand already the major or the jurusan or the faculty, you have to understand later on what subject you are going to learn over there. Why that subject? So basically in semester 1, you will do this, this, and this. In the second semester, I'll do this, this, and this. So basically the interviewer will be convinced that this guy actually has plan in his or her mind. Okay, so master your study plan. If someone asks you, you must be able to say, okay, in first semester, I'll do this. In second semester, I'll do this. In the, for example, summer holiday, I will do this, and so on and so forth. So basically, you have that very clear in your mind. Next is you have to be able to connect your own study with common issues. For example, I myself am an engineer, a geospatial engineer, or like a surveyor. So somehow my field has nothing to do with, for example, terrorism, or nothing to do with democracy. Because in my opinion, or in my mind, terrorism is a social science. Democracy is a social science. But if you really want to talk quite a lot with the interviewer, or if you want to have an engaging conversation, you have to understand this issue, because these are uniting issues. That's how I term it. Uniting issue means that the issue that can be discussed by anybody. Climate change, for example, you have to understand this issue, pandemic, economic crisis, poverty. So whatever your field of study is, don't forget to try to connect your field of studies with this common and general issues. Okay. Next is when you start your conversation, this is the four good things that you can or you should do, in my opinion. First, warm greeting. Okay, if you see people, imagine this is an offline interview. Warm greeting is like you just say hello first. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Hi, how are you? Something like that. And when you do it, you shake hand and make an eye contact. Okay, you go to the person, shake hand, make eye contact, and say, "Good morning, sir. How are you?" So it requires probably 2 or 3 seconds, but it will make a difference. Go to them, shake their hand, look at them in the eyes, and say politely, "Good morning, sir." So, "Good morning, ma'am. How are you?" Okay, it's very short, but that will make a difference already. If I'm saying this now as also an interviewer because I have a number of occasions where I serve as an interviewer, not an interviewee. So that is actually how I evaluate candidates, how they greet me for the first time, how they look into my eyes, and then how they politely say things, but with confidence. So it's polite, but it's confident on the other hand. And natural smiles help. So if you see me talking, I usually put some smiles into my face because that will add my level of confidence. So greetings, eye contact, say good morning, how are you, and natural smiles. That will help you to start the interview in a smooth way, in my opinion. Next is confidence, however, is not arrogance. Okay, it is not off but off. It's supposed to be confidence or arrogance. So sometimes if you want to look confident, it is a bit too much. So you look arrogant. So please be careful about this. You just have to be confident. Confidence means you're being humble, full of smile, and polite. So you don't have to show off as in that shows you're being arrogant. So be careful about this. We can talk about this later on, how to actually distinguish between confidence and arrogant. I'll be able to tell you more about this in the Q&A. Small talks. Okay, now allow me to give you a little quiz here. Okay, it's a little quiz here. I think I have with me a link in the chat. I'll just let me give it to you before I. Okay, I'll give you the link in the chat box. If someone say to you, okay, I'll go to everyone. Okay, everyone, I give the link already in the chat box. Just click that. If someone say, "Thank you for coming" to you, what would you say? Okay, I stop this now. So for example, imagine yourself, you're being interviewed, okay, and then the interviewer say to you, "Hi, Andy, thank you for coming," or "Thank you for attending this interview," for example. So how would you answer that? Okay, click that and write down your answer. Thank you very much. Okay, a number of answer already came here. Thank you very much. Good. All right, now allow me to show you this. Once again, thank you very much for a very good participation. This is your answer. These are your answer. All right. So when someone say to you, "Thank you very much for attending thank you for attending the interview," your answer would be, okay, these are all great answer. The first one, "It's a pleasure to be here." This is very good. When you say, "It's a pleasure to be here," look at them in the eyes. Look at them in the eyes and smile. "It's a pleasure to be here, sir," or "It's a pleasure to be here, ma'am." And then, "Thank you for having me, sir," is very good also, but do it in the same gesture. You look at them in the eyes and smile. "Thank you for having me, sir." So the tone is very polite, but very confident. Thank you for having me, sir. So thank you for having me interviewed, sir. This is okay, but the thing is that because you haven't been interviewed yet. This is actually the first time they say it to you, but you haven't been interviewed yet. But thank you for having me is good. I'm happy to be here, or you're welcome. It's such a great interview. Well, you could not really say this in the beginning because you haven't been interviewed yet. So this is actually the beginning of the interview. Pleasure is mine is really good too. I like this. This is good. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is also good. Thank you for your time and the opportunity given to me. Good. This is good. Maybe this might be a little bit too long because sometimes you want to have a natural conversation. Okay, you don't want to have a too long basa-basi. It has to be natural. You say thanks, but genuinely. So more here is a gesture actually, not so much, not always about the wording of the statement. Thank you. I'm glad to experience this valuable moment. Okay, this is also good. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. All right. So it means that you guys basically know the simple terms or the simple sentence you can say to show your confidence and also to show your politeness. Okay, these are all good. So this is a good example actually what to say in a small talk during the interview. Okay, now I'm showing you more about the interview. Okay, this is body language. So sometimes how people can understand us is not by listening to what we say, but how our gesture is. So body language is really important. So when you sit down in front of people, you sit down straight like this, you know, erected, straight, and then you don't lay back to the sofa or the chair. You don't really put your hand too much on the table in front of the interviewer. You just stand like this, relax, and showing that you're confident but you're polite. So you don't do this that much in the table, for example. Okay, this is about your body language in the interview. Now, it is important for you to understand and pay attention to speed, clarity, structure. Okay, if your English is not super good, it means that you cannot really speak fast, right? So don't worry about that, because sometimes if you think your English is not very good, you try too hard to speak faster. So people will think that your English is good. Sometimes we miscalculated that. So don't force yourself to speak really fast. The speed has to be normal, not too fast. But what you need to pay attention to is clarity. It has to be very clear and well structured. Clear, well structured, not about the speed. Okay, just like what I'm doing now. So speaking in the interview doesn't require a fast conversation, a fast speech. What you need to do is to maintain the speed in such a way understandable, but you have to pay attention more on the clarity and the structure. So this is an example how I practice that, what I'm teaching to you, right? Next is, it is very nice for you to be able to quote specific information. So if you say something, it is better for you to be able to quote specific information. It is data, name of people, name of governments, events, whatever. So if you can quote that specific information, it will make your statement stronger. Next is you have to be able to link what you say with words or for example. So based on my research, based on my recent research, so it is actually the way to tell people that you have done your research without telling them that you have done your research. Okay, based on my recent research, blah, blah, blah. Or having observed that, blah, 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 I opine or I view that, blah, blah, blah. Or another way to say it, the latest report shows that. So it means that you show them that you really have read that report. Or in our national research agenda, da, da, da. It means that you are aware of this national research agenda and you have read that national research agenda and then you have an idea about that. Or my surveys on the issue or my interview with something like that. It is always shows that you have done something before you do the interview. right? The next one will be, you have to understand the interviewer might not be from the same field of expertise with you. So you just have to understand this. If you're from, for example, like me, I'm a surveyor. I have to be aware that the interviewer might not be a surveyor. She might be a medical doctor, or he might be a political scientist. So you have to understand the interviewer is a non-expert but intellectual audience. That's how we term it. It means that it's okay for you to talk about something quite difficult, but you just have to understand that they are not an expert in that area. So it has to be toned down a little bit. So how you pick good words, good terminology, you don't bombard them with specific jargon like that. For example, if you're do you remember how jokes recently talk about the anak Jakarta Selatan? They usually use all of this term. Try not to do that in an interview, because if you bombard them with all of those terminologies in your specific field of studies, they might not understand. But don't worry, they are intellectual audience. So you have to be able to balance this. So to be able to come up with good words, good terminology, not too specific, but in somehow you can explain what you mean clearly. Next is, you just have to be able to show them the contribution of the study, whatever you are going to study, for Indonesia and for the host country. Okay, you have to be able to show this. What is the role of, what is the contribution of this study to Indonesia and to the host country? So it is not only the host country, it is not only Indonesia, but both of them. So make sure you understand, if you study one particular field of study, it will be beneficial for Indonesia and the host country. So you have to be able to build that story to show that. It is very important for you to show the interviewer that you will have a future role in Indonesia. So what is your aspiration? What you want to be in the future? You have to be able to show them, and how that study will help you to achieve your position or to play your role in Indonesia in the future. So it is not only about a dream that I want to be president, I want to be a minister, I want to be a CEO in Indonesia, but you have to be able to connect that aspiration into what you are going to study in that particular country. So that study will help you to achieve what you are going to do in the future. Okay, your future role is really important. Now, with regards to memilih universitas or selecting universities, it is certainly up to you, but you have to have a good reason why you choose that particular study. It is an example for me. I did my master degree at UNSW in Sydney, and then I did my PhD in University of Wollongong in Australia, for example. So I had my own reason why I did this. For example, this. So if you want to select one or two or three particular universities, I think you just have to be able to tell story about that. You have done your own research about that before you make the selection. For example, out of the universities doing research or doing field studies on blah, 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 I found there are a lot of universities in the world, but the best or good quality universities lies in North America, for example. That's how you start it. And after I researched on universities in the North America, I managed to find 3 good universities or 3 good possibilities. And then I compare those 3 universities by assessing 6 or 7 or 5 criteria, like publication, academic reputation, supervisor reputation, contribution to society, existing network, ranking by subject, for example. So those are possibilities for you to be able to assess those 3 universities, and then you'll be able to come up with, okay, based on that research, I decide that University C is the best for me. So basically, it is not only about choosing this or that, but what is the reasons behind that? It doesn't have to be great and precise, but at least we can tell that you have done your own research before you make any decision. Right? Next is you have to be able to show them your desire to build international network and collaboration. So whenever the conversion takes place and the opportunity comes, you just have to be able to show them that we are, or I am, an international minded person. I'm a borderless person. It is okay for me to interact with different people. I need to interact with different people from different countries. So you don't have any objection to any particular countries, for example, it is very good to show them that you are an open-minded person and you have a desire to build international network and collaboration. Then after that is you have to understand the difference in education between Indonesia and the host country. Let's say if you want to go to Australia, you have to understand the basic principles of education in Indonesia and in Australia, and what are the difference between it. Why do I need to tell you this? Because by understanding the difference, it will make you a lot more ready to go there. Because without a good understanding, how can you tell that I'm ready or we are ready to do something in other countries? So please understand the education system in Indonesia and understand the education system overseas or in the country that you are going to go. And because if they ask you and then you'll be able to say, hey, I understand what Indonesia look like and I understand what Australia look like. That's why I want to go there. And then you have to understand obstacles or the problems. It is not only the optimistic statement. You just have to show them that you are actually realistic, because first you understand about the problems, the potential problems you face in the future, academically, in terms of culture, in terms of nature, and in terms of personal issue. For example, academically, you understand what the difficulties might be. In culture, for example, you understand the difference of culture might give you problems, but you are aware of that and then you can do something about it. Or nature, for example, you have a problems with temperature, because some people are like that, right? They don't want to live in a very cold country, for example. So you tell them that might be your problems, but then you have the strategy how to deal with that. The next point is you have to show them that you have done your best, meaning that you have done your research, you understand what KBRI looks like, what the information provided by universities, and you how better, the more you, but then it doesn't really matter how much you read, but how much you can tell, right? Because sometimes people read a lot, but they're not able to tell the story about that. So show them 1, 2, 3, 4 particular things that show your ability or your interest and your enthusiasm in doing that study. If you are given opportunity to ask question, don't forget ask. Okay, if you want to ask question, don't ask like small questions like, for example, how much money will I get from the from the scholarship? Or do you think the money that scholarship will provide me enough for my living? Something like that. Because sometimes that's what we are worried about, right? Worried about money, worried about the financial issues, things like that. I suggest you not to ask that kind of questions. You better ask a bigger questions like, what is the possibility or what opportunities are available for me to be able to connect with, for example, my colleagues in different continents? Or what opportunities do I have if I want to do a collaborative research with my partners, blah, blah, blah. So it is a lot bigger vision than just a small administrative thing. For the online interview, if you happen to have this online interview, first, you have to be flexible with the tools. So if they ask you to use Zoom, you can do it. If they ask you to use Skype, you're also okay with that. If it is WebEx, it is okay. So it means that you have to be flexible, because you have to understand what tools they are going to use, and you have to learn that before you do the interview. Second is internet connection has to be good. So that's why I usually have this mobile phone next to me, because if there's a problem with my IndiHome, for example, I can switch it right away. Third is watch your account. Make sure that you use your formal account. This is probably not the best account that you want to use when you do the formal interview. Make sure that you use your formal and official account. Next is, this is the interview message. So imagine if this is the interview like a voice interview or video call, but before the video call, you can send a text to them in that particular platform. Do this. Hi, Professor X. I'm there. Sorry, this is Andy. We are having an interview today at 10 a.m. I just want to let you know that I'm ready now. Please take your time. So you tell them that you're ready, but you don't rush them. Okay, you tell them that you're ready, but you don't rush them. That's very important. Proper outfit matters. So if you're in the interview, sometimes you think that people don't really know, don't really care, but they do actually care. If you're in the interview, please dress up like this. For example, if you so basically what I want to tell you is that do pay attention to your outfit because this is important for interview. Okay, next is opening the greeting. I don't know why I put this picture. I hope this doesn't really cause any harm to you. Hello, Professor X, how are you? Or good evening, Professor X. So if for example, you are online already and nobody say anything, it is good for you to start the conversation without waiting too much. Okay, hello, Professor X, how are you? Or good evening, Professor X. It is okay it is good for you to start the conversation. All right. Next is position does matter. So for example, now if you look at me here, so my position is really stable, not like too left, not also too right, or not like this, because sometimes we do this, right? Sometimes if you pay attention to presenter, sometimes they do this. So they actually only appear just a little bit of their head. Make sure that you appear at the center of the screen and then quite stable. So that's why you really need to pay attention to the position of your laptop or your phone and your camera. Okay. Next is responding greetings. So if people say thanks to you or greeting or say hello to you, this is a number of response that you can say. Pleasure is mine, Professor X, or thank you for this opportunity, or thank you for having me, or I'm grateful to have reached this stage, something like this. So this can be, you can learn it by heart, but make it natural after that. Don't do this because you will not look enthusiastic, because you have to be enthusiastic. So posture yourself and position yourself in such a way that you can project your energy. Look at the camera once in a while. Okay, just like what I'm doing now, I'm actually looking at the camera because you will feel that I'm looking at you, right? So it is not easy to do this. It requires practice, basically, because by looking at the camera, I couldn't really see anything basically now, but I just imagine that you're there and you smile at me and then I'll smile at you too. This is actually something that require quite long practice and imagination. So do that and practice to look at the camera. Okay. When the connection is poor, this might happen, right? And the connection is poor or even cut off. Don't worry, don't panic. You just switch that into your phone if you have. I hope you have. And then whenever you are able to switch that into your different connection, tell them this. Thank you very much for waiting. I'm sorry for this inconvenience because something happened, but I quickly switched my connection into my phone. So use this kind of situation to show that you are a problem solver. You get my point? So use this kind of situation to show them that you are a problem solver, because people face problems, but the thing is that whether or not it doesn't really matter you have a problem or not, but what matters most is whether you are a problem solver or not. So show them that you are a problem solver. If you want to show them something, like what I usually do this, I show something to you, right? I show this, for example. So make sure that you have the space over here. Okay, you have the space over here so you can show something. And if you want to use this background, like the virtual background, I really suggest you to have a green screen back here, because when you have a green screen, you will not lose this. See, if you don't have any green screen, I might cut my hand over here. So I think you understand what I mean, right? So like some participants, I can see they are appearing and disappearing because they don't really use a green screen in their background. So please try to do that as best as you can, or at least a clean and one colored background. It doesn't have to be green if you don't have. Next, you have to have everything ready. So if you do this interview, you have to have all the files ready, whatever ready. So it means that whenever you want to show them, you just need to show them right away. You don't have to check them and look for them in the Windows Explorer, whatever. No, don't do that. You have to have all the files ready. It's open already, and then when needed, you just need to show it. Just you don't because you don't want to spend your time too much in searching the file first, looking this, and then cari ini cari itu, dan kemudian lama-lama nggak ketemu. You don't want that to happen. You want to look very smart and tactical and very practical. So they ask you to show your CV, your CV is there. If they ask you to show your transcript, the transcript is there. Diploma, whatever. So you have everything ready and open in your computer. So you just need to show them and switch your screen. And actually, this can go long more and more. I can talk about this in 3 days and 3 nights, but I don't think it's wise to do that. So ladies and gentlemen, and also my friends, students, interview is basically, as I said earlier, is showing your greatness in a humble way. So I would like to thank you very much, and then let us talk about this further. Matur nuwun, terima kasih. Thank you. I cannot hear anything. I don't know why. I cannot hear anything. Nadia, I cannot hear anything. Is it me or? All right.
Okay, maybe, am I audible?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, maybe I'm take over this time. Okay, thank you for Mr. Andi for the clear explanation for the interview session. Okay, the next agenda, we will hold a question and answer session for everyone who would like to ask anything to our speaker. Please raise your hand and we will recognize you to open your camera and microphone, or you can use our Q&A feature for typing your question.
All right, can you hear my?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Indonesia, from Hasbi. How to answer a random questions given by the interviewer?
This is to me a random question already. So how would I answer this? It depends on what random question is all about, right? And how do you define random, by the way? If, for example, you are being interviewed for a scholarship, and what do you think qualifies a random question? Is a question about your hobby is random? Is a question about your pet is random? Or is a question about your parents are random? I don't see any random question, in my opinion. So any questions can relate to the purpose of the interviewer to know more about yourself. For example, if you want to go to the Netherlands to do a study, but out of nowhere, she asks you, "Hey, do you have any cat at home?" Right? You didn't expect that kind of questions, and you will think that it is a random questions. But I don't think it's a difficult question, right? You just answer, "Yes, I do, sir. I love them." and add something like that. So meaning that show them that you're ready to talk about anything. Or even though if you don't have, oh, I'm sorry, I don't really have any time to deal with pets, so I decide not to have it. And then they might ask you, and why? And then you can talk about, actually, I love animals, but because I don't really have too much time to take care of them, I decided not to have. Because if I do have some animals in my kos-kosan, for example, I'll be cruel to them because it is not fair. I love the animal, but I don't pay attention, something like that. So there is no random questions, in my opinion. So that's why if you want to be in the interview, it is okay for you to get ready or to prepare yourself, but at the same time, you have to be open-minded also. You have to be ready with any kind of questions. It's similar to when you have the lebaran, right? And your om and tante will ask, kapan lulus? Remember that? That to a lot of people are random question or question that you don't really expect. But anyway, it happens in life, and I just have to smile and answer. Sebentar lagi tante, maybe in 2 years, I don't know, right? So just be open-minded. Don't worry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andi, for the answer. And we will move to the next question
Sure.
from Nendra. I read somewhere that is it good to give thank you letter after interview. Is that right?
Okay, this is a good question. I think it is always nice to show a good gesture. For example, if you have been interviewed by someone, like online or offline, and you feel good about that, it's okay for you to just send a letter. If you have the email, okay, of course, if you have the email, if officially you know the email, but if you don't know the emails, and then it might not be a good idea. You know what I mean? So if you are informed officially what their emails are, it means they are okay to be sent email, right? In my opinion, don't try too hard to find their emails your own, or let alone the WhatsApp number. Please don't do that. But if you are given officially the contact, like the email or WhatsApp number, it means they are okay to be contacted, right? So you have to be able to read this. And then if that is the case, it's okay to drop an email. Please do it in a very short way. Dear Professor X, I am Andy, the one who have just been interviewed by you this morning, something like that. I really enjoyed our conversation, and it was it's such an insightful talk. I thank you so much for that. That's it. Without saying like, I hope that blah, blah, blah. No, don't say that. Just purely thank you. So it's okay to do that. Right? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Andy, for the answer.
Pleasure.
Proceed to the next questions from Sarah Vanesha. Hello, Mr. Andy. How do we handle the nervousness before the interview? Thank you in advance.
This is a very good question. I would like to tell you a story about nervousness. I have believed that being nervous is actually a good sign. Being nervous is actually showing you or reminding you that you are being serious about something. I hope you agree with me. Okay. If you're not nervous, it's very dangerous because you're not quite serious about what you're doing. So being nervous is a good thing. So keep it in mind at the first place that being nervous is a good thing. That first. Second, in my opinion, we don't have to delete or we don't have to avoid the nervousness. What we do is to manage it. How do you do that? You increase your readiness. This is two different things. I don't want you to deal with nervousness. I just want you to focus on your readiness. Increase your readiness. So how do you increase your readiness? Me, always doing practice. Interview, presentation, whatever, I always practice. For example, I was invited to give a talk in Berlin. 2018, for example, only for 3 minutes. And I did a practice for 500 times. 500 times 3 minutes. That's how I did it. Because I know I'm not a naturally good speaker, actually. That's how I understand myself from I was a child. I was a very nervous person. I was born in a very simple family, uneducated parents, all of those kind of things. So I understand I'm not naturally a good speaker. So the only thing that I can do to improve myself is practice. All right. If you don't practice like 50 times already before an interview, don't tell me that you're not ready. Don't come to me to say that interview is a difficult thing. If you don't practice for 50 times at least for the interview, okay, do that, make it natural. That's how you improve your readiness. And then when your readiness is improved, your nervousness decreasing by itself. Right? Practicing also means not only in front of the mirror. You do the practice with your friend, with your other friends, with the friend that you don't really know that close, things like that. So do a variation of practice. And that's why you will improve your confidence level. Terima kasih.
Okay, that's it for the Sarah's question that we have to be practice a lot, yeah, Mr. Andi.
Sure.
Okay, for the next question is from Fitri Novianti. Actually, there are two questions. The first one, I naturally looked up when trying to answer the question or explain something at the interview, and I don't know how it's happened. Maybe because nervous or a thing to remember. Do you have any advice to handle it? And the second one, what should I do if I blank in the middle of interview and suddenly forget everything I prepared? Thank you.
All right. I think this is quite similar. I have another question, like a follow-up question from Hasbi in Unran, if I may connect that. Unexpected questions mean that random questions mean unexpected question that hard to answer. Okay, the thing is that like other question, the questions might goes like this. What should I do if I cannot answer the question, right? That is the simple way to say it, right? My answer is that, exactly. So my answer is that if there's a question you cannot answer, there are a number of things that you can do. You can say this. You can say simply, I'm sure that that is a very important questions and an issue. But to be honest with you, sir, I don't really know the precise answer. You get my point? So you acknowledge that the issue is important, but then you admit that you don't know the answer. But then follow that with another thing like, however, I understand something related to that, which is da 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 da, and this is what I understand about this. You get my point? So acknowledge that it is good, admit that you don't know precisely the answer, but you know something else that's related to that. For example, what do you think, misalnya gini, you're an engineer, like a nanotechnology, whatever, but suddenly, what do you think about the leadership of Pak Jokowi? That's like random to you because you are not a political scientist, and tiba-tiba, right? You can say this. To be honest with you, I didn't really pay that much attention scientifically to how governments perform. But what I understand about the government or the current government is their programs in relation to nanotechnology, right? Or what I understand about this current government is the way they handle research, because this is my field. And then you can talk about BRIN, for example, Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional. So you actually did not answer those questions, but you can do something in such a way that relate that question into your knowledge. I hope you got my point. Okay, so you pull it back to your own expertise. so you're comfortable saying it. But your prior task is actually to relate that, what the question is, with your own expertise. Okay, I hope that helps you. Thank you. Oh, blank. If you're blank in the middle of interview, well, jangan kan interview ya, orang stand up comedy aja bisa blank kan. So this is actually okay because that's natural, right? But then it is about how you're facing things mentally, right? It is not about the knowledge; it's about your mental. For example, if I were in that position, I'll do this. Oh, this is actually I remember this, or I learned about this before, but to be honest with you, sir or ma'am, I forget it. So I will get back to you with that answer when I remember, or if I remember. I really hope that I can remember. Okay, if I were you, I would do that. But in that particular situation, what we need is actually a calm character. I know this is not easy. That's why what I want always emphasize is that you just have to have more and more experience. So make yourself experience in doing interview. So that's why you need to talk to people a lot. You need to do practice a lot with your friends, with your om, with your tante, whoever, do it. If you still think that you are malu doing that with your om and tante, and then you are not ready yet. Okay, you got my point, right? So do that with your closest friends and people and relatives, because nothing to lose with them, right? It doesn't really matter if they think that you're not good, no matter at all. So it's better for you to get embarrassed in front of your dad and mom, but you perform a lot better in front of the interviewer, right? So basically practice. So if you blank in the middle of something, you say something like that. I actually remember, I actually learned about this, ma'am or sir. But to be honest with you, I forget now, probably because I'm so nervous. I'm really sorry about this, but this happens to me. So allow me to come back later. I hope I can remember it later on. Do that. And then you can talk about something else, just like what I did before. Okay, you talk about something else that's quite related. I forget about this, but I remember one thing that's quite related to this, which is this one, and this one. You can talk about that. But the bottom line is that you have to be calm, right? You have to prepare yourself. You cannot really come up with that ideas without any practice or without any experience. Terima kasih.
All right, thank you for such a clear explanations about the things. The next questions, it's from Dinda from Indonesia, UPNVY. Hello, Mr. Andi. I want to ask if we are given a questions about our weakness, how much should we share? How to share without making us look bad?
All right, this is actually a quite typical, quite popular and famous question. There are a number of, I don't really know honestly what answer is best for this, because it depends on really the question. I mean, like this, if I really want to know your weakness, I really want to hear your weakness. You get my point? Because I understand if I'm the interviewer, or if I want to hire you, for example, I really want to know your weakness that you are aware about, because it is important for us to hire somebody who are aware and who understand their own weakness. That's why they can improve it, right? So it is not like a game, I want you to play with words. It is not like that. So it means that if they ask you your weakness, say it clearly, that you think that is your weakness. But whatever it is, well, it might affect your score, but whatever it is, I always suggest come up with a solution to your weakness. For example, one bad habit that I have, for example, is I don't really drink water enough. Okay, I know that it doesn't really have anything to do directly with my performance, but I think this can affect my health, and that can affect my performance later. I don't think they would see that coming, right? Because if you are asked about the weakness, they might think that you will say that aku nggak bisa bagi waktu Pak, aku orangnya bosenan. But you don't come up with that kind of answer. You come up with a very good answer like, I don't drink much, I don't drink enough, sir. So that has been always my weakness. Okay, this has nothing to do with my performance directly, but in fact, this has something to do with my health, and this can affect my performance. So that I consider my weakness. However, now I managed to find a way how to deal with that. Okay? And then you can tell a story about how you basically force yourself to go anywhere with a bottle of waters and things like that, or how you set your alarm in your phone to remind you of drinking waters and things like that. So basically, tell them your weakness genuinely, but then come up with a solution. That will, in my opinion, force it. Okay, thank you. I hope it helps.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Andi, for the answer. And the next question is from Crystal Nayanika, but it seems like similar from the previous question. Maybe we will proceed to the next question from Dinda again. One more question. If we were asked about experience in organization and volunteering, how should we answer it effectively without oversharing?
Yeah, this is actually very, very good. I would start from the basic principles of why being active in an organization is good. Okay, being active in an organization is good if you can show them that you are good. You got my point? So it doesn't really help if you only show them the list of your roles in organization. Pak, saya sudah memerankan 17.000 peran di organisasi. Not like that. If you cannot really perform nicely, professionally during the interview. Because if you're good in organization, you'll be good in interview too. You get my point? So show them that you are good at that time, and then they will trust whatever you say. So that's that first, okay? If you want to share that you are an active player in organization, you have to be able to show them during the interview by the way you answer the question. That is the very first thing that you need to remember. Second, you can say, for example, like number, I have been active in organization since I was in SMP. You can start by doing that. But I would like to share one particular organization that I like the most because that has the most relevant contribution to my future role when or if I'm accepted in this scholarship. You get my point? So tell them that you are good or that you have a lot, but then focus on one particular thing that is the most relevant experience in organization that to what you are going to do in relation to that interview or a scholarship. Okay, for example, sir or ma'am, I was the ketua OSIS in SMP and SMA, and I was also the head of something in perguruan tinggi. However, there's one thing when I was in S2, because if you apply for S3, for example, that I started to do this in my organization. This is, I think, something that taught me a lot about blah, 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 that will benefit me or that will help me to be able to finish the study, whatever, blah, blah. You got it? So tell them general and the least, but focus on one. Thank you, Linda.
Okay, maybe that's the answer for Dinda's question. If any of you want to ask any question again, please type in the chat box.
Sure. All right. I think I've answered almost all of the questions. I actually have also Okay, if you feel uncomfortable to ask question directly, I'll give you this link in the chat box. Type that, ask question. You can ask the question in Bahasa Indonesia or Bahasa Jawa, don't worry. And I will not know your name, so please use that, if that helps, okay? So go to the chat box. Yeah.
All right, everyone can type your questions if you feel shy to text a question in the chat.
Any language. I mean,
Yes,
don't
any language.
I don't speak French. I don't speak French, I don't speak Japanese.
Yes, okay.
I speak Bahasa Jawa
Oh,
or Bahasa Bali. I can do. Or Nurul and Nadia, you can have a question if you like. Do you have any question? Or you want to go somewhere?
I'm actually have the question, but similar to the participants' question, so
All right.
it already answered.
Good. Okay, I have a question already. How to not be overwhelmed preparing the interview? This is a good question, right? Okay, let me ask you a question now. For ISMA, for example, if the announcement is given in February, okay, and the deadline of the submission is May, let's say the announcement is 1st of February, and the deadline of the submission is 31st of May. When I ask you, how long do you have to prepare? What will your be your answer? Maybe Nadia can help me if you understand. So if the announcement is at the 1st of February and the deadline is 31st of May, how long do you have to prepare?
oh, all right. I think I will answer like I will be prepared from the very first time of the announcement to explore about the alumnus of the scholarships like that, and we can have a teacher and question and answer about how to prepare for the next step.
All right, good. Thank you so much, Nadia. I also like the answer given by Hasbi. Can you see the answer? If we already know that the opening time will be around that date, we should prepare prior to the announcement. So that is the right answer. So if you know that ISMA is a regular program every year, right? But you know the opening is February and the closing is May, you actually have your whole lifetime to prepare it. So it is not 3 months, it is not 4 months, the whole your lifetime during your S1. So if, for example, you are now semester 1, but you understand that ISMA, you can take ISMA when you're semester 3, right? So you can have the opportunity from day one, you start the university life in UPN, for example, until the day come. So this is mindset. Why do I need to do this? Because the answer is how not to be overwhelmed with the preparation. That's the question, right? Because you have the wrong mindset. Because you think the time for you to prepare is from the time it is announced until the time it is submitted. Not like that. It is actually, you can prepare it now for submission 3 years from now. So it depends on how you see it. So that is my answer. If you don't want to be overwhelmed with the preparation, you start early. If you know that the scholarship is for you when you are semester 3 and you are now semester 1, start from now. So you will not be overwhelmed. Okay, that's my answer. Thank you so much, whoever asked that question. Oh, ada banyak yang nanya sekarang ya. Kenapa ya? Okay, this is good. Apakah buku tentang pembahasan bahasa Australia masih tersedia di toko buku? Terpaksa jualan ini saya jadinya. The answer is, I don't know, to be honest with you. I have this, I don't have the book here with me. Oh, I do have the book. So this is what you mean, right? So I don't know if this book is still available in the market, but I will double check. I need to double check. The next question is saran untuk bisa diterima di beasiswa untuk sekolah di Australia. Okay, if you want to be accepted in the beasiswa luar negeri in Australia, first thing is that you have to understand the beasiswa. You read all the buku petunjuk, all the guidebooks, all the guidelines. Read them. It's only 140 something pages. I call it only because if you want to do something great, you have to be able to do something great too, right? So if you are defeated by a book which is 140, ya udah nggak usah daftar. Ya, kalau kalah sama buku setebal 144 halaman, nggak usah daftar. Itu saran saya. So that first read that book, so then you understand clearly what to do, and don't wait until you finish your study. Don't wait until you finish your study S1. Start from day one you start your university. From day one you start university, read that guidebook, and then you have the rough information. Oh, kalau nanti pas mau daftar beasiswa Australia berarti IP-nya harus 3,0 minimal dan TOEFL-nya harus 500 minimal. So you understand this from day one you start your S1, and then you can prepare yourself. Oh, tapi IP saya sekarang masih belum segitu nih, and then you can study harder. Tapi TOEFL saya masih 490, and then you can study harder. But you have 4 years of time, right? You have 4 years of time, so you have plenty of time. So start early, read the guidebook, and then when you know the requirements, meet the requirements. Udah, itu aja. 3 things. The last thing is that what consideration from the committee that makes the candidates don't pass the selection? This is a good question, right? First, if you cannot demonstrate your enthusiasm, can you see me from the first second up to now, I keep my same energy. Can you see me doing that? In my opinion, this is what you have to do. Humble, yet very enthusiastic. Show them that. Okay. Second, you know what you are going to do. I know I'm going to this university, Pak. I know the jurusan that I want to do because I know the program, I know the kuliah yang akan dilakukan di sana. So you just know what to do. And then you know what to do after the program. Okay, being enthusiastic, you know what to do there and you know what to do after that. That is basically the main requirement. So if you cannot demonstrate those 3 things, I'm sorry guys, you're not in. Okay, I don't know whether I still have time or not because the questions keep coming.
You still have 5 minutes to answer.
Okay. Let me answer this very, very quickly. Okay, the interview is only very short. Do you have any tips to answer it in a shorter time? I do. So what I usually do is, by the way, you guys are content creator, right? Because everybody is a content creator now. How do you make a 15-second content in Instagram story? You can do it, right? Exactly, you can do it. You don't actually have any issue, in my opinion, how to talk short. You have a problem to talk long. That's what Gen Z and millennials are having now. So it means that what I suggest you to do is you have a list of questions. You can imagine that, and you type your answer in such a way that you only need less than 40 seconds to answer. You got my point? So you type that question in such a way that you need only like 30 to 40 seconds to answer that. If that is too long, and then repeat. If that is too long, and then revise the sentence. And then you practice. Okay, so make a list of questions and also type the answer and make sure that the answer is less than 30 seconds or 40 seconds, something like that. It means that you have to type it first. So then in that case, you are preparing yourself what to do and what to answer. Okay. All right. The next one is now I'm at the end of my S1 studies. What's the best preparation step before the close? Oh, okay. Now someone asked me that she or he is at the last year of the study. What is the best preparation step before the closest scholarship opening date, like LPDP, for example? Okay, I assume that you already know what LPDP is and what the requirements are. I assume that. If you don't know that yet, please, that is the first thing they have to do. Learn the guidelines and make sure that you understand clearly the requirements. That is very first. Second, your English proficiency. That is your first PR. If your English is good already, and then forget, the next one will be the essays. Learn how to write the essay, good essay. Okay. And then after that, you start to contact or to learn about the university overseas, where you want to go. If you want to go to Oxford or Cambridge or MIT, Harvard, UNSW, Wollongong, UQ, you go to their website and learn what the requirements for the admission. Okay, I hope you got my point. Pak Andi, saya sepertinya agak telat dan masih baru di dunia beasiswa. Jika saya mau mencoba daftar beasiswa internasional, manakah yang harus coba dulu? Apakah ada rekomendasi? Okay, I don't have any recommendation. Okay, beasiswa internasional ini ada dua ya. If you are an S1 person, if you sedang S1 sekarang dan you want an exchange, definitely ISMA is the one. But if you think to do the S2, I really suggest you to try the Australian award, Australian Scholarship Awards. Why? Because the requirement is not very high. IP-nya hanya 3, TOEFL-nya 550. Oh, mohon maaf, saya bilang hanya 3 itu maksudnya saya tahu 3 itu juga tinggi ya. But you know, if you really work hard, I think it's possible to have that. Okay, Australian Award Scholarship, that is something that you should try. Jangan lupa LPDP juga. LPDP is something that everybody should try. Okay, 2 itu. Bagaimana jika ingin melanjutkan studi keluar sedangkan universitas yang tuju tidak lebih baik atau kurang lebih sama dengan salah satu universitas di Indonesia? Karena saya jurusan pertanian dan termasuk top 60 in the world for agriculture. Oh wow. I know you're bragging a little bit, right? You want to say that IPB is very good. No, I'm kidding. Okay. This is one thing. If you want to study overseas, there are a number of things that you can consider beyond academic. Okay. Please understand my word. If you want to study overseas, there are a number of things that you should consider beyond academic. That if you study overseas in whatever university, the very first thing that you think about is not the academic, but something beyond academic. So imagine you study at IPB because IPB is really good, your pertanian, compare it to study in Thailand, for example, and ask yourself, what will you get more if you study in Thailand? Or compare it if you study in the Netherlands. What will you get more compared to study in your country? In my opinion, being a global citizen is priceless. Okay, the feeling of being a global citizen is priceless. So you will be able to feel that you really are a global citizen. You can contribute, you can talk and you can debate with somebody from the Netherlands, from Germany, from France, nicely and politely, because you talk about something really good. And that mentality, in my opinion, can only be built by real interaction. So that is something that you should think about beyond academic. Thank you. I think that's it because my time is up. Matur nuwun. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andi. And maybe one last question from
Sure.
Q&A feature
Mhm.
from Miss Crystal Nayanika.
Right.
She want to ask, do we have to know the background of our interviewer?
This is very good question, Crystal. If you can, if you know the name of the interviewer beforehand, I really recommend you to search and to Google him or her. It doesn't hurt. It will be really, really good. And then, for example, when you are being interviewed, for example, by me in ISMA, for example, it is always good for you to check who I am, Google me, for example, and then if you find something good and interesting about me, you keep it in mind. And then when you answer my questions, you can relate your answer with my interest. For example, if I ask a question, why do you think you need to go abroad? Why do you need to study abroad? Because you are studying, for example, in UPN, which is really good already. You don't have to study overseas, for example. And then you can start your question, da, 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 da. This is exactly the same idea with what you have said, Pak Andi, because I know you have actually a video, for example, in YouTube saying this and that is something that I agree with. So what I'm doing now is actually in line with what you are advising young generation to do. You get my point? So your answer is good answer, and relate that to the character and habit and expertise of the interviewer is always good. So you're good with that. Thank you.
Okay, maybe that's the answer for Miss Crystal's question. And we will wrap up our Q&A session. A very big thank you for our invited speakers, Mr. Andi, who have spoken with us in this session. Such inspirational knowledge and also have widened our knowledge about the interview. And the thing that we have to be highlighted is we should prepare our best performance as soon as we can, and don't forget to be confident about who you are. Okay, what next, Miss Nora?
All right, the next is before we proceed to the next agenda is the closing remarks. We will have a group photo to Mr. Imade Andi Arsana as well as the participants. Highly encourage everyone to turn on their camera and bring out your best charming smile and cute posture. And yeah, the operator, are you ready?
Thank you very much, bro.
Ready? Have you ready, everyone?
Okay.
Okay. I will take photo. 3, 2, 1, and cheese. Okay. Once again. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the operator for giving us time to take a photo with Mr. Andi. And dear participants, thank you for your participations. Thank you for our invited speakers that have a lot of expertise and knowledge about it. And this is the end of the sessions today. Thank you for your participation on the first day of Global Scholarship Preparation Workshops. Hopefully, all materials from our amazing speakers will widen your knowledge and about scholarship preparations, about motivational letter, also for the interview sessions. Don't forget to prepare yourself for tomorrow's sessions. There are a motivational letter review and interview practices.
Okay, we would like also to appreciate and congratulate all the participants who already joined in Global Scholarship Preparation Workshop Day 1 with full of passionate. You can still submit your motivation letter because Mr. Abdurrahman Goviki will review it personally after the event. Also, the list of participants that will have the chance to be interviewed by Mr. Andi will be announced later in the group chat WhatsApp group. Okay, also, don't forget to come to day 2 tomorrow, 23rd January 2022. They will be started at 9 a.m. also, GMT +7.
All right, before that, just a reminder, don't forget to fill out the attendance form provided by this attendance link in the comment. We will waiting until 2 p.m. GMT +7, right? And all right, thank you everyone. Like we wish you a good health and happiness to our lecturers and friends.
Right,
And
Goodbye,
goodbye. See you
everyone. See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Mr.
much, Guru.
Thank you, Mr. Andi.
Thank you, Mr.
Pleasure.
Andi.
Bye-bye. Matur nuwun.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, Bandi.
Pleasure, Bu. Thank you.
Oke, mungkin recordingnya bisa dihentikan.